Welcome to Community Talk, a public affairs presentation of the MSA United Way and Super Talk 1270. Now your host, Jenna Gullo.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to United Way's Community Talk. I am Jenna Gullo, the Executive Director of the Missouri Slope Area-Wide United Way, and your host today for United Way's Community Talk. We have been busy as ever, running around to just about every single business imaginable. If we have not run into you, we need you. We're gearing up for the end of our United Way campaign. We set a goal for $2.5 million, and we are so close. We're so close to reaching it, but we need your help. If you are a business owner out there, it's not too late. Get your employees involved. Do an employee campaign. We'll give you all the materials you need. We will make it as easy, convenient, and simple for you to give back to the community. But we also will make sure that your dollars are used in the most efficient and effective way possible. If you want to get involved in some of our volunteer committees, we have people like Mark Mengi from BNC Bank, and also Wes Engbrook, who's meeting with me this afternoon to talk about the final push for our small business division. They're part of our campaign cabinet. There's people like this who are out and working hard for our community, and it's not just about raising those dollars on our campaign cabinet. It's about how we can efficiently spend those dollars and really solve community problems. Be a part of our Community Impact Committee. Review agency applications, score them, look and monitor at their quarterly reports. Make sure that the dollars are targeting the issues that you care about most. Give our office a call. You can reach us at 701-255-3601. You can log on and like us on Facebook. We're at Facebook.com/MSAUA, or go to our website and donate now, right now. We're at msaunitedway.org. We need your help. If you have not yet been involved, come to our annual luncheon. It's this January 29th, so a couple Thursdays from now. It's from 11:30 to 1 at the Ramkota Hotel. And you can buy tickets online. It's only $15. It's not a fundraiser for us. It's an opportunity for us to thank our volunteers, to really thank the people who work so hard and make our United Way a success each year. So speaking of some awesome people that support United Way, our next guest for this radio show, he's going to be on all hour long, so make sure you tune in, is one of my, I'm very blessed to be able to call him one of my personal friends, but one of the great community leaders, someone everyone knows and loves, Monsignor James Shea with the University of Mary. Monsignor, thank you.
How wonderful to be here with you. I'm so excited for the annual luncheon, and all the listeners should be excited too. Why? Because I'm giving the invocation. And I'm sure that a sister's going to write it for me, and it's going to be wonderful.
I was going to ask you who writes your speeches, because you're so good. They're amazing. I want to hire them.
Abraham Lincoln writes my speeches. Jenna, it's wonderful. And everybody, Jenna talked about how we're personal friends, and it's an amazing thing. You know, we've had so many people arrive here in our state of North Dakota over the past handful of years, and Jenna came before the boom. And she's one of the best arrivals from out of state ever.
So
she's from the
sweet.
Buffalo, New York area, and I remember her when she came. In fact, I met her. Jenna, remember we met each other when you were still living in New York, but you were actually working in Guatemala.
That is right. We actually met down in Guatemala for the first time, didn't we?
I was a new teacher at St. Mary's High School in Bismarck, and
many moons ago.
Right, and there had been a tradition of a connection with the God's Child Project down there, and so the two of us planned the trip together, and it was really an amazing experience.
It really was, and it was so neat at that time. We were much younger.
You're much younger.
Full
of energy.
I was going to say more vibrant, but we're still pretty vibrant, just maybe a little slower in our vibrancy. But it was really neat to see you, Monsignor Shea, really lead and inspire those high school students. And you had been down there before. I think it was maybe your second. Was it your second?
It could have been. It could have been. Those were really, for the first 5-6 years of my priesthood, I took groups. I spent a week and a half every summer in Guatemala, and it was really a beautiful experience to see these Midwestern students come alive with love for the poor, with concern for others, And that's, those were the years in which I really fell in love with education. And now I've been given the privilege of dedicating my whole life to it. And that's a really wonderful thing. And so still we have students at the University of Mary who go to Guatemala and also to Peru. We've just opened a new campus in
I want to
Peru.
go. Do you need chaperones for college students?
Well, I don't think they'd like that, but we could impose it.
Okay, let's try that one out.
But it's really exciting. In fact, I'd love to tell you a little bit about our programs in Peru if you wanted.
Absolutely.
But first, I just want to say, Jenna, and I want everybody to hear how honored I am to be a part of the United Way campaign this year. It's really been an exciting thing for me. $2.5 million is a lofty goal. We're making tremendous progress toward it. But I just want a chance to say publicly what an impact United Way makes and what a worthy cause it is. We know that at the University of Mary. And so our employee campaign up there has been a really important part of the infrastructure and the annual schedule of the University of Mary. One of our chemistry professors, Marla Beam, for years and years, and she's retiring this year.
Oh,
but
no.
for years
We're
and
losing
years,
Marla.
She's been our champion of the United Way campaign. And from our perspective, for us to have an opportunity, and for me as a community leader to have an opportunity to be of support to the wonderful work of United Way, there's no more efficient way to assist our growing community. And that $2.5 million, every penny is used in an efficient way to assist those who are most needy in our communities, because what we never want to do as we grow and as prosperity visits us in this way is to lose that community ethic in which the people at the margins, that they would ever be forgotten about or that they wouldn't matter to us. They certainly do. And there are people who struggle in our community and who need the support of the agencies that United Way helps to fund.
Well, and the nice thing about the University of Mary is that you make it a part of your everyday life out there, whether it's for your students or for your faculty. It's really who you are and what you stand for. And I want to talk more, probably later on in the segment, more about Peru, more about your day of service with your students.
Yes.
More about the class that the freshmen have to take when they come out to University of Mary.
Absolutely.
I've had some very positive feedback from some freshmen out there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And candid feedback.
Sure.
Which is really exciting. But your United Way employee campaign at the university this year was beyond outstanding, Monsignor.
It was a lot of fun.
Beyond. You
We're
always
very
do
proud of
such
it.
a good job. But you raised over $21,000 this year. Thank you so much.
It was an extraordinary honor to be able to support in that way. And you're right when you say that that's part and parcel of our culture at the University of Mary. When the sisters founded us, they wanted us to be a place to prepare servant leaders. And so our service is so deeply woven into the Benedictine fabric of the University of Mary that that's what we're about. That's what we've been in this community.
Yeah, I love that about the University of Mary, and every single person that I know that works out there, that really, it's a value of theirs, and that's part of why they come to work for you.
Absolutely. So before the end of the hour, I'm going to recruit you into our MBA program. Jenna,
is that what we're doing?
You got to get an executive MBA at the University of Mary.
I've thought
Everybody
about
on the air
it.
is
I've thought
cheering
about
for you.
it. Just, I'd have to work just a little bit less at United Way. We'd have to work that out with my board of directors or something.
We could do it between the annual luncheon and the kickoff in August.
That's an idea. I don't need sleep at night. I really don't. Not like I used to, at least. Join us in just a few minutes. We will be back to talk more with Monsignor James Shea on United Way's Community Talk.
Right now, one above.
Our own radio station. Not Fargo, not the Twin Cities. Proud to be Bismarck and Mandan's own Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back to United Way's Community Talk. I am your host, Jenna Gullo, the Executive Director of the Missouri Slope Area-Wide United Way. We are needing you to get involved right now. If you're seeing issues that are important to you, that you want to address in the most efficient, effective way, if you want to learn more about community services, go online to volunteerbizman.com. It's one of our United Way websites where we try to make it easy and efficient to connect people to helping others in our community. There's lots of different resources there. Different agencies list any in-kind needs. So if they're needing anything from a crib, a bed, a mattress, blankets, diapers, food, whatever they're in need of, they can list them there. And then also different volunteer opportunities. It's one of the best ways to really get involved today, or just call our United Way office. We're nearing the end of our campaign. We have our annual luncheon scheduled for January 29th. This is open to the public, so please show your support for our community agencies and grab your ticket online at msaunitedway.org. You will be able to hear from our guest today, Monsignor James Shea. Monsignor.
Jenna, it's great to be back with you. I love that Volunteer Bizman website. And one of the reasons is that it was a tremendous resource for us and for our students this year. Part of the strategic planning that we did at the University of Mary was to launch an annual day of service. We were talking before the break about how when the sisters founded us in 1959, they said that we would be a place for the preparation of servant leaders. Leaders, they said, in the service of truth. And so this year, for the first time, we launched this annual day of service when we shut down all the classes at the University of Mary, and the students and the faculty and the staff were all encouraged and able to go out and to flood the community of Bismarck-Mandan with volunteer opportunities.
And when you say flood the community, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students.
Absolutely.
And faculty.
We were so proud. So we had a guest speaker come out he's a former student of mine from St. Mary's High School, Cam Knutson, came out, and he spoke to the whole student body beforehand. He had been student body president of a place that nobody knows about, NDSU.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, it's a place in Fargo.
I don't know. Never heard of it.
but he was president of NDSU, and he had come out, and for 5 years they've been trying to do a volunteer type of a day. And they've gotten up to 500 students participating after 5 years of trying. In our first year, we had 700 students, plus students at our new campus in Watford City, out in the oil patch.
No kidding.
Plus students at our campus in Billings, Montana.
Congratulations. That is huge.
It was really exciting.
When those students first came to United Way to suggest their plans, and they wanted to prepare all of this in just a few months, I remember we had a conversation. We both looked at each other and were like, oh, there's a lot of work entailed in this. Do you think they're up for it? And man, were they ever.
We have outstanding students, and they have such a heart for service. And so we loaded buses and buses and buses and flooded the Bismarck-Mandan community with volunteers. I was at the zoo, actually. And people were they were at the local soup kitchens. They were helping at children's care facilities. They were helping clean up and all these different
They were at
things.
the United Way office helping us pack United Way backpacks.
It was really wonderful. And that Volunteer Bizman website, I was so excited because they had to go on and they registered.
Yep.
And that means that whenever their heart is moved to volunteer, that they're able to go and they're able to be connected with one of the community agencies, so many of them supported by United Way and by the annual campaign, and they're able then to pour their hands and hearts out in service. And so I was really excited because it was very savvy to have all of the students individually register on Bizman online so that they're connected with the volunteer community in Bismarck to begin with. But I was so proud. I was proud to be president of the University of Mary on that day, every day, but on that day particularly with 700 of our students out helping the community with need.
Well, it's interesting because that's why, for me, it was a natural fit when we were looking at who could be co-chairs of our campaign. And we had selected Mr. Vern Dosh.
Isn't he something?
He is something.
He is a man of such integrity and service. He's the best of North Dakota in lots of different ways. He represents everything we want to be.
That is such a good way to put it. I'm going to use that when I introduce him for our annual luncheon.
Good. That's great. Just quote me.
You want to know? Yeah, quote you. Because Vern, I knew him through, other work engagements and whatnot and prayer breakfasts that I had attended and whatnot. And he just always has such a calm demeanor, but he's extremely thoughtful in everything that he says. And so when he agreed to be the co-chair, I had suggested at that time you to do it along with him. But we knew how extremely busy you were, Monsignor. And so we thought, well, maybe if we put the word honorary in front of it, it'll help our cause a little bit, and you won't feel so overwhelmed by the offer. And he said when he suggested this opportunity, of course, that it's an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to serve our community, that you didn't even hesitate. You said yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm very honored to be a part of this. And Jenna, I've admired your work in United Way. I'm so very proud of you. And really, I mean it genuinely, that you coming here to North Dakota with your heart for service and investing yourself in this community in this way is really a tremendous witness. I'm so very pleased by it. And I mean, Vern, so I taught his children.
Oh, you did? They went to St. Mary's?
They went to St. Mary's,
okay.
and I was able actually to take them to Guatemala as
No
well.
kidding.
And his youngest son is studying for the priesthood in Rome.
Oh, my.
It's true.
No kidding.
Yeah, he is.
Well, then he is indebted to you.
No. So,
way to go, Monsignor. Way
so
to
it was
go.
good. And we've got Paul Sukit as well, who's the
Sukit.
new CEO over at Basin Electric, and he's another tremendous community leader, even though he graduated from Valley City State.
Yeah. We won't hold that against him.
Right.
But, Paul, everyone loves Paul. Everyone that knows him, loves him, respects him.
No, I think he's on the board at the University of Jamestown.
Oh.
I think I misstepped there.
Either way.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
We won't hold it against him.
Not
there.
at all. Not at all. He can still live here.
But Paul has agreed to make additional phone calls when he gets back into town next week. He's got his board meetings all this week. But the three of you have just been tremendous leaders in really pushing forward the message of United Way. And I have to say that knowing people like you and Vern, that's what really made me want to stay in North Dakota. That all of these years, it's going to be 10 years in February.
Isn't that something? 10 winters.
10 winters.
But you got snow in Buffalo.
Yeah. Although I came from Central America.
Oh, sure, right.
So
Yeah,
kind of detour.
palm trees.
Yeah. But really it's when people talk about, it's people of North Dakota and that's why I love it. That's really true.
Yeah.
It's
No,
sincere.
people talk about Minnesota nice and they don't mean it to be nice. Minnesota nice has a dark side, the movie Fargo and all that. But we've got North Dakota neighborly here. It's really.
Did you make that up?
I don't remember. Sometimes you start saying stuff so much that you just don't remember
don't know
the
where
source.
it comes from.
Yeah, that's how plagiarism happens.
It's true, right?
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Better Google it.
Yeah, right.
Or just start putting on Wikipedia all
Yeah,
your
right.
own quotes so that you make sure it's always your own. But, in thinking about our time in Guatemala, and now you're allowing students to not just do Guatemala because you're still going there
We
every
still
year.
are. Absolutely.
You have is your nursing program still
Nursing
going?
is going,
Physical
occupational therapy, physical therapy. It's really wonderful. But in addition to that, now we've
Now
expanded
you have
to
Peru. So
And
tell me about that.
Well, Peru is a multifaceted initiative, and part of it is a response to the fact that our Rome campus, which is now 5 years old, is so flourishing. It's just booming, and the student demand to go abroad and study is really very high. And so we thought, is there an outlet? Because now we have waiting lists to go to Rome. People are still able to go, and they enjoy it very much. But we needed to make sure that we were providing. So we had an opportunity either to expand our Rome program and make it bigger, or to do something else, because Rome's not for everybody.
Sure.
And Peru is a whole different thing. So in Peru, in the city of Lima, which is a city of millions upon millions of people, and Lima's is sort of Peru's first city, there's a physical therapy clinic, which is a world-class clinic called Corpus et Vita, Body and Life. And during the evening hours, it treats world-class athletes.
No kidding.
And they pay top dollar or peso or whatever, quetzal, I don't know. They pay a lot to go there. But right behind this Corpus et Vita is a little school called Colegio de Alegría del Señor, the school of the joy of the Lord. And it's for little children that are severely disabled. And that clinic subsidizes the school, and then during the daytime, all the therapists and all of the world-class equipment is for the training and the therapy of these children. And so it's really an amazing thing. It's an amazing, beautiful thing. And so our students who are in physical therapy, who we have so many students here in Bismarck studying for the doctorate in physical therapy. It was our first doctorate, and now we've got 3. Now we've got physical therapy, we've got nursing, and we just got the education doctorate. We just got the doctorate in education.
That's
and so
exciting.
it was our first doctorate. So one of the things that we're going to do is this partnership where our students in physical therapy can go down for brief or for longer periods and do clinical work at this physical therapy program with these children. It's really wonderful.
Amazing.
And then
That's just beautiful.
We also have a medical mission that we're doing in Ayaviri, high up in the Incas, in the Andes, where the Incas lived, high up in the Andes. And then we have a partnership with a college in Arequipa as well. And that's where our study abroad program is going to be.
I had heard about your study abroad. I know of a student that is planning on applying.
Wow.
To be there. I want to learn more about how you picked Peru and also about your year-round campus.
Yes. We got to talk about it.
That sounds frightening to me.
No, it's great. It's so great. I'm going to tell you why.
So we will be back in just a few minutes to learn more about Monsignor James Shea, the United Way campaign co-chair.
Right now, one above.
Get the traffic and weather information you need anytime on Super Talk 1270 and online at supertalk1270.com.
Welcome back to United Way's Community Talk. I'm Jenna Gullo, the Executive Director of the United Way here in the Bismarck-Mandan area. We are working hard. We really, really need your help to reach our goal of 2.5 million. We have between now and January 29th. That's when we announce our final tally, our final campaign results. And so if you're not involved in United Way, give us a call or stop by our office. We do some really, really great programs. For example, we think getting kids ready for school is of utmost importance so that they're prepared and off on the right footing, so that they're able to read proficiently by the 4th grade, able to graduate on time, able to go to fantastic universities like the University of Mary. My guest here, Monsignor James Shea, also the campaign chair, along with Vern Dosh and Paul Sukit, really working hard for our community. So at United Way, you're raising funds for programs like the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, where we make sure every child under the age of 5 gets a free book in the mail every single month, free to sign up. So if you're out there with young children and you're listening and your child is not registered, go online to our website. It's msaunitedway.org. It's free to join, but if you can afford to pay for shipping and handling for your own child, we raise $25 per child for the entire year. It's a great, great bargain and a great program to get our kids off on the right foot. We also support North Dakota Reading Corps. That's where we have evidence-based practices, people going into our high poverty schools and reading with those kids under that proficiency level, because we know that they're 4 times more likely to drop out of school if they're not reading proficiently by the 4th grade. So those are some key benchmarks that we're looking at with your funding. We also are supporting United Way's backpack program. Kids can't learn and succeed and concentrate in school if they're not eating over the weekends. We found that there were nearly 500 kids in the elementary schools that were going without food over the weekends. And many of you know I do foster care, and I literally have gotten kids on a Saturday night who have not eaten since Friday at lunchtime at school. And it breaks your heart, and there is not a single person in our community that I've ever met that doesn't think this is something that we can address as a community and ensure that kids, at the very minimum, kids are not going hungry. So it's $5 for a United Way backpack full of food. It's $2,000 if you want to sponsor the weekend. You want to sponsor a month, we'll take it. Businesses can give the donation, and then they can even have their employees pack the backpacks full of food. So these are all incredible, incredible programs. Just a small viewpoint of what your United Way dollars do and how we need your help in our community. So if you can make a gift, whether it's $1, $100, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is you're able to give, we need your help. The University of Mary really stepped up this last year. Monsignor James Shea, it was under your leadership and direction. And I just want to say thank you again for everything you're doing on behalf of the community, not just with your students at University of Mary, but for your service work and all the values you're instilling in them.
It's terrific for us, Jenna. You know, Bismarck-Mandan is our home. We have campuses, as we were talking about, in Peru and Rome. We have campuses in Minnesota and Montana and Kansas and Missouri and Arizona. But Bismarck-Mandan is the home of the University of Mary, and we want our community to be a place of flourishing and a place where everybody can find a place to live and good food and can experience a high quality of life. And United Way really helps people who find themselves in the gap between where they are now and where they're headed in terms of the fullness of their lives.
You know what I really love, though, is the collaborative aspect of the University of Mary and United Way. How, when you're the university president, and yet, you're on the, what was it, the selection committee for the chancellor?
Oh, yeah, right.
That is incredible.
Isn't that funny?
I just think that's just fantastic. When you and the BSC president and interim president work so closely together. How important
It's so
is
important
that?
for the community to see that the institutions of higher learning and that the schools, and I think that this extends to business. I think it extends to healthcare. I think a community ethic is essential in order for Bismarck-Mandan to flourish. And so we shouldn't see things in terms of fundamentally competition, but what's best for students, what's best for the people that we serve, what's best for our community. And as long as that's the optic, as long as we're trying to serve, and as long as it's not about institutional ego, then we're full steam ahead. And that's important to us.
Yeah, and that's what's needed to have a strong, vibrant community. We know at United Way we can't do it alone. Yeah. It's not about the program and services that we ourselves provide. It's about how much stronger we are when we come together to address a lot of these issues.
And not only that, but the agencies that you assist can't do it alone. Right. In other words, we have agencies, we have organizations in our community that do such profound and tremendous work and varied work, really serving different varied populations of people who are in need. Mm-hmm. And they can't do it alone. And we need to be able to rally around them, and we need to support them. And the most efficient way to do that is through United Way, isn't it?
Well, I seem to think so. I'm a little biased. It's funny, when I was first informed of this job, I was over in Africa. And I was actually looking at the diocesan mission over there. Meeting with Yvonne Beauchamp. And at that time, when I received notification of this job opening, I thought of United Way as a fundraiser. And I have to say, I wasn't too thrilled about the prospect of joining, because I looked at it as the old traditional model of, well, let's just raise money. But yet once I talked with the board members and really got a better sense for the direction they wanted to take United Way and the impact that we're able to have with those dollars in our community, and bringing people like you, like Vern, our agency directors around the table, our superintendents of our public schools and Catholic schools, it's only then that I really truly saw the value of United Way and the potential impact that we together can have as a community. So thank you for being a part of that.
Absolutely. It's wonderful work. It's really exciting.
What's so odd is that it was over 5 years ago that you started, right?
Yes.
As president.
That's right.
And so at that time, Monsignor, what were you thinking? Taking on that incredibly daunting role?
Well, what I was thinking is I didn't get myself into this. That's what I kept reminding myself, because really in the end, the life of a priest is a life in service to God and to the church, and we have to make our lives available. I never in all my life thought, I had prepared myself, I had been trained to be a parish priest in Western North Dakota. That's what I had studied for and what I had dreamed of since I was a young boy. And so the opportunity to serve education in the way that I'm serving it at the University of Mary was completely unlooked for, and something that really only God could have brought about. And so as a result, I think to myself, I wasn't qualified. in terms, you talk about fundraising. we have a lot of fundraising to do. I didn't have any skills in HR, budget management, any of these types of things, or extensive experience in higher education. But you know what? I did have a love for education, and a belief in its nobility, and that I think is important.
And so when you became a high school teacher,
Yeah.
how did that happen? And was that something you sought out, or
It
that
wasn't.
was asked of you?
No, that was the same type of thing.
Interesting.
I had been trained to be a parish priest, and so I was brought home, and I was assigned to St. Mary's High School, and I thought, I didn't like high school when I was there. What's going on? And then all of a sudden, I'm back in high school, and I loved it. From the first moment, I loved teaching my students, and I miss teaching a lot. I miss it.
I bet. But you still have that freshman class.
I do, yeah.
So tell me what that's all about.
So,
and has that always happened at the university, even prior to you?
Well, sure. So we have a class called America's Leadership University, ALU, which is our fundamental. It's sort of our College 101 class, which is as well in some ways coordinated with our Harold Schaefer Emerging Leaders Academy at the university. And so we cover a lot of different topics in this class. But one of the things that I started to do a little bit last year, and then I did it in a more robust way this year, is that I take part in this class. So I don't facilitate it. There are other great, much more talented people who are working on that. But I do come in to give a series of lectures to the students. And I talk about our Benedictine values, about community and moderation and prayer and hospitality and respect for persons and service. I talk about all of those. And then in addition to that, I take some general themes that are important to students, things like friendship. And I'll spend a whole hour just talking about friendship, on the art of friendship. And this is really important because they're young people who are on the doorstep of their lives, and they're freshmen in college. In other words, this is a chance to make their lives anew in a certain sense, to take the very best of what they've been given by their home, their families, their communities, and take them to a new pitch in a certain sense as college students. And really, all of us remember what that was like to be at that fundamental, seminal moment in our lives. And so I see it as my role as university president to assist them as best I can to think some of those things through. And I don't do it perfectly, but I think some of the input that I give is appreciated.
Well, I certainly agree. The feedback has all been very, very positive from the students. And it's just interesting to me to think of the reach and the depth that you have with the students and the students at the St. Mary's. I mean, do you know how many priests have come from St. Mary's since you were there? And I just think about the impact on that, and what an awesome legacy to leave for our community.
God is awesome. If we allow the Lord to work through us, amazing things happen through us and through many others too. And that's why working together is so essential. Because when we go it alone, we don't have anything to do.
Hallelujah. We will be back with the fine Monsignor James Shea in just a couple minutes. You are listening to United Way's Community Talk.
Right now, 7 above.
Your news leader, weeknights at 6 and 10. Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back, and a special thank you to Town Square Media and Super Talk 1270, Mr. Jim Walsh, who provides us airtime for United Way to bring community issues and interesting folks to you, to our community. So get involved today. Go to our website, msaunitedway.org. Like us on Facebook. A special thank you to Jason Milner at Stiefel for giving us $5 for every new Facebook like to get us up over 1,000. It was really neat over the Christmas break, so we appreciate you, Jason Milner. He is a financial advisor at Stiefel. Also, thank you to all of our backpack sponsors. This Christmas break, Langang Home Center filled 487 backpacks through United Way's backpack program, full of food for the entire 12-day break to make sure these kids had food. So if you are able to sponsor, a weekend is typically about $2,000. You can do food drives. You can help us out at our office. We are narrowing in on our campaign finale. It will be January 29th at the Ramkota Hotel. Get your tickets today. It's only $15, and it's January 29th. That's a Thursday this year. It's from 11:30 to 1, and it's a really neat opportunity where we highlight all of our campaign volunteers, our Women's Leadership Circle. Our Women's Leadership Circle, let me tell you this. If you are able to donate at a level of $500 or more, you can join the Women's Leadership Circle. Of course, you have to be a woman as well. And you're able to get involved in so many activities and volunteer opportunities. They started our United Way Backpack program when they heard there was a need in the community. And they also today are at Saxvik Elementary. Every other Tuesday, they go in and they mentor students, and they switch off Tuesdays, so it's not always the same people, same volunteers. But they've started something really great in our community. It's providing that positive role model, that attention, that time, helping students to read, have more time to read, have some tutoring to make sure we get all of our students on the same level here. We also have businesses, Capital Credit Union, they're adopting classrooms through United Way. So every Tuesday, they go down to Wilmore Elementary and they spend time with the students there. And again, it's not an every week thing for an employee. They switch it off between their employees at their office so that they ensure every single week there is a positive role model in those classrooms, assisting those teachers and being a positive mentor to those kids. So, speaking of role models, my personal mentor, although you're not old enough to be. Are you? I keep forgetting, Monsignor Shea. Are you older than me or younger than me?
Well, I'm 39.
In what? How many months? Because I, too, am 39.
Are you? So
yes.
My birthday's in March.
Oh, so you're going to be 40.
Yeah, I'll be 40 in March.
It's on air, I am younger than the fine Monsignor Shea. I'm not sure what that says, but makes me feel good for a moment.
Right.
So the big 4-0, I've got to ask you this, because then I do want to talk about something really neat and cool, the year-round campus at University of Mary.
Right.
But before we get to that, I have to say this. Monsignor, when you started at the university 5 years ago, what were your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, and then where are you now? Because you've done some phenomenal things over the last 5 years. It's just unbelievable, really.
Things have happened much more quickly than I ever dreamed that they would happen. It's really an astonishing thing. The growth of our campus has been so beautiful to see, and we've become a national player. Now, even before then, especially with NCAA athletics, we had students coming from all over, but never before. Our enrollment keeps going up on the undergraduate level, and this past August, for the first time, less than half of the students in our freshman class were from North Dakota. And that's not because our North Dakota numbers are down. That's because our numbers from the wide world are up, and that's exciting.
That's exciting for every business owner out here.
Absolutely. And
wow.
This is one of the motivations for going to a year-round campus, because this summer, so we got done with the year, Jenna, and I was just, every year when the students leave after graduation, we breathe a sigh of relief, but it only lasts for about a week and a half.
Right.
And then we're like, when are they coming back? Because the university campus is made for students. And summers in North Dakota are so glorious. They're just beautiful. And we have all these students coming from out of state, and they come to us when the leaves are turning, and they leave to go back home to Nevada when the snow is melting. And so we realized they're not seeing the very best of North Dakota. But then we realized that there were other things too. Mounting college costs, time to completion for a 4-year degree going to 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and increasing student loan debt, which is now more than $1 trillion nationwide. It's outpaced credit card debt. And we realize these are crippling problems in higher education and really pretty significant. And so as we thought about it, we realized that if you take summer break and if you take and add in the other breaks, every college campus in this country is more or less shut down for about half the time. And here I am at the University of Mary with more than 1,000 beds on campus, empty for almost 4 months in the most compressed real estate market since Bethlehem on Christmas Eve.
Sure.
And it didn't make any sense. And then we thought, what if we change the academic calendar year? We leave it intact for those who still want to go for 4 years. But what if we offered a summer semester? Not sleepy summer school, everybody's got that, but a full, vibrant summer semester with choir concerts and intramural water skiing and all of those things. We realized a 4-year degree, a bachelor's degree, takes 8 semesters. And if you put those 8 semesters into 3 semesters a year, that's 2.5 years. And we could do a bachelor's degree in 2.5 years and a master's degree in 4 years. and we could reduce time to completion. We could reduce the cost because I can charge less in the summertime, right?
So you can actually get your bachelor's and your master's in
4 years.
4 years.
In 4 years. And
Wow.
it's not like you're on a hamster wheel. So there's a 3-week Christmas break, and you've got a couple weeks on either side of the summer semester. Plus, the summer semester is going to be taught in block format. So if you've got a family reunion in the middle of July, you would be able to take that little block off and then just load up on either side. But it's really going to be exciting for students.
How innovative is anyone else doing this?
Nobody else is
country?
doing it in a systematic way university-wide.
Wow.
Where their programs are offered in this way. There is, like, Purdue is doing it just with their communications program. But then you have to live in Indiana. You know what I mean? Yuck. but and so some places are doing it just for, and everybody's always been able to do this on their own if they wanted. You know what I mean? Anybody
Sure.
can get a degree from any college or university in 2.5 years, but you got to kill yourself to do it.
Sure.
We're making it possible to do it in a regular way because our students in the summertime, they're working a summer job, not for a super high wage, an okay wage. And what are they doing it for? They're doing it to have a little bit of spending money and to reduce those college costs as best as they can.
Sure.
What if you take those 2 summers and you move them around to the back end when they're making huge money, like the executive director of United Way?
Yeah, right. Huge money, huge.
What if you move it? What if you move it around to the time when they're making a living wage? All of a sudden, those summers become so expensive. We did the math on it. If you assume a $45,000 starting salary, the lifetime financial benefit of incremental lifetime savings, incremental lifetime earnings, and student loan debt reduction is $325,000. And for those who get the master's in 4 years, $525,000, and that's assuming $45,000. You can get that in North Dakota.
Well,
out of
you
college.
can now. You can now because
It's really wonderful.
Businesses are really looking for the brightest and the best, and they need really good employees. The competitive salaries are now just something that we've almost become accustomed to in the last couple of years, which is really exciting and nice for college students. I remember when I graduated from college, I graduated early, and that was huge because then it put me ahead of everyone else my age and in my class. So that was just a huge bonus.
And this is one of I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
This is one of the things which is so exciting about this because as our students go to graduate school, because we have 10 master's programs and 3 doctorates, but maybe they want a program at a different school, this type of thing, and some do. I talked to a young woman who almost burst into tears when she found out the year-round campus because she said, I have my eye on a graduate program which is out of state. I know that if I can put on my resume that I finished college in 2.5 years, I'm going to have priority placement in that graduate program, and they're going to take me because they'll look at me and they'll say, this person comes from a university for high achievers. I love this. Plus, think about the difficulty that we're having convincing young people from eastern Montana and western North Dakota to take 4 years or 5 years or 6 years of their life off.
Yeah.
To get a degree that'll help them to get a wage that they can get right out of high school now.
It's so interesting because people our age and older have a very difficult time understanding that kids today don't value that college education. I interviewed the valedictorian in one of the local high schools a year or 2 ago, and she essentially said, I really don't have a desire to go to college because I don't have to. I can make more money not going to college right now.
In the short term, that's
In the
true.
short term,
and you
right.
can get a pickup truck or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the short term.
That
that's
is
the
so
short
true,
term.
yeah.
In every study shows us this, the value of a college education over the unless you're Bill Gates. So everybody's like, what about Bill Gates? Well, what about Bill Gates? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steve Jobs. So there are lots of college dropouts who do fine, but at least they're college dropouts.
True. Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so
Out of Harvard.
yeah, right. That's right. And so the fact of the matter is that over a lifetime of a person with a college degree is they generally do much better. And we want to offer that to students in a way which is convenient for them.
Wow. Monsignor Shea, in the short few years you've been at the University of Mary, you've started and expanded your Rome campus. You have students going all over to Brazil or to Peru.
Yes.
You have the year-round campus. It's just incredible. And you're leading our United Way campaign. And we're so close, Monsignor. We're so
close to that goal of 2.5 million. And what an impact. That is a lofty goal, but it's an achievable goal. And it's only achievable achievable because the people who are listening to us right now, Jenna, are going to rally behind us.
Yeah, and I think it's achievable because they do believe in the leadership of you as our co-chair, Vern Dosh, Paul Suka, our incredible board of directors. So, Monsignor, I just have to say thank you, not just for what you're doing for our community through United Way, but what you're doing out at the university and for being who you are and giving your life to God and to service. It's just awesome. Very inspiring.
Thank you for all you do, Jenna. What a gift you are to Bismarck Mandan, and what a gift United Way is.
Well, speaking of gifts, it's not too late. Go to our website, msaunitedway.org. Like us on Facebook. Come to our annual luncheon. Get involved today. Join the incredible leadership of the Monsignor James Shea, president at University of Mary. Get involved. Thanks for listening, and have a good couple weeks. You've been listening to United Way's Community Talk on Super Talk 1270.
ABC News, Super Talk 1270. Accurate news, stimulating talk. This is KLXX AM, Mandan, Bismarck.